It's only right.
It's only right.
24th anniversary as of yesterday. Is this the best J album?
At least we agree on that.
No, I said, is it? I'm asking.
Oh, yes.
The Blueprint is the best to me.
I agree. Ronnie is a hater of
It
the Blueprint.
is.
I already know what this episode about.
I mean, it's called Politics as Usual. We would be remiss if we did not talk about this, but we gotta let the chorus run. Politics as Usual.
I do think Reasonable Doubt is number 2 though.
See, I got Black Album number 2.
Yeah, Black Album.
Oh, man. I think without the hype of him retiring, I don't really like the Black Album like that.
I like
because
that
him not retiring takes away some of the oomph of some of them songs, like the way he rapping. It's just like, you're not retiring. I mean, so what you're saying?
It's a couple of them joints on there, like Justify My Thug. I could have did without.
But he was like really rapping on there though.
But he could. I could have used a different beat on that one.
No. I don't mean Justify My Thug. I mean the Black Album. Like, so if you take away the hype, if you take away the hype of the moment, I still think it's a good album.
Oh, I think it's one of his better albums. I just don't. I mean, if I had to place it, I'll probably put it third.
I got Blueprint, Black
maybe
Album,
fourth because I like Volume 2.
So yeah, this is the episode. Let's go top 5.
My top 5 is Blueprint, Black Album, Reasonable Doubt, American Gangster, Volume 1.
Okay. Interesting. Let me go. Hold on, let me think on mine.
And then if 6, 7 is probably Volume 2 and 444.
Okay, because I know which ones I want. Let me.
That's like the line of demarcation for me is like
right
when you get to that top 7. Everything else after that is even though I'm a Kingdom Come apologist. I feel like that album aged better. I feel like that's the Godfather 3 of Jay-Z albums. Like people hate it, but if any other rapper put that album out in 2006, it would have been beloved. People didn't like it because you were coming off of the Black Album. They ain't want to hear that, Jay.
It's wild because I think if you ask most people like which is the worst album out of Kingdom Come and like Blueprint 3, they're like, oh man, it's Kingdom Come just because of like the reception at the moment. But nah, Kingdom Come has actually aged pretty well.
That album aged really well.
So let me see. So hold on, I got to write this down. Hold on, let me.
Well, while you writing, I'll say probably for me, Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, Volume 1, Black Album, then Volume 2, then probably about top 5.
So what you said? Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt, Volume 1, Volume 2, Black Album, or Black Album, Volume 1, Volume 2.
Black Album, Volume 1, Volume 2.
Respectable.
And then after that, it'd probably be Dynasty at 6. Then Kingdom Come at 7. After that, I don't really think it matters much. After that, Volume 3 probably last though, because that shit is terrible.
And one day we have to talk about.
You like Volume 3?
I like Volume 3, man.
One day we have to talk about the travesty that was Blueprint 2 versus Blueprint 2.1. That nigga
Blueprint 2.1. I always tell people Blueprint 2.1.
That nigga just had to do that fucking double album, man.
If you would have released as Blueprint 2.1 and maybe add like popping tags on there, that's a perfect album.
Like, hold on, let me pull up the track where it says Blueprint 2.1 is A Dream, Hovey Baby, The Watcher 2, 03 Bonnie and Clyde, Excuse Me Miss, All Around the World, Guns N' Roses, You Don't Know Remix, Meet the Parents, Somehow, Some Way to Bounce, What They Gonna Do Part 2, La La La, Excuse Me.
Damn, that's damn near flawless.
That's a perfect album.
Yeah.
That is a perfect album.
He just had to do that fucking double album.
And like I said, if you add like maybe one or two more tracks, because I really like popping tags. I know you don't care for it, AJ. But if you add that, like that's a perfect album.
Yeah. Nah. It really is. Like he just had and this is the thing with like if you look at the line of demarcation with Jay albums, the more features he has, the worse it is. All his best albums have minimal features, and the features are usually from rock artists, if any. But once he starts going outside the Rockefeller in-house artists, shit starts getting shaky.
All right, so I think I got mine. It's gonna make you mad. Because much like you're a Kingdom Come apologist, I'm a Volume 3 apologist.
Oh, you got Volume 3 in the top 5.
I got Volume 3 in the top 5. Actually, no, I don't. No, I don't. I'm gonna bump that out simply because I just revisited like 444, and I was like, I want to see if I was just caught in the moment if it still stands up. It still stands up for me. So I have 444. This is gonna make all y'all mad. Blueprint.
What you got at 5?
No, 444 at 5. Blueprint at 4.
All right.
At 3, I have American Gangster, 2, Black Album, 1, Reasonable Doubt.
That's respectable.
What'd you have at 3? Volume 3?
No, at 3 I had Black Album.
Volume 2 does not have heavy features. It has features, but it's not heavy.
Yeah, it had that was like the era of like the posse cut. So of course you had like your one song that had like 7 niggas on there, but
like you got Memphis Bleek on Hold It Down, you got the Rangers on If I Should Die, Jazz, who is counted as a Rockefeller guest artist. So like outside of Rockefeller, you got DMX, Too Short, Ja Rule, Fox, and then you got the posse cut like at the end. Like other than that, it's Rockefeller artists. So I mean, like if it's feature heavy outside of the rock camp, them albums usually be ass.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm the 2 albums I'm an apologist for in Jay's camp are because I see what he was trying to do is Kingdom Come in Volume 1. Like people hate Volume 1 because of Sunshine, but
Volume 1.
Joe, I just said the track list. Look what you talking about. I just said
if you take Sunshine off of Volume 1, Volume 1 is
well, no, you still got that. I Know What Girls Like. I Know What Girls Like is the worst. That might be the worst song in Jay's catalog. Like that shit is ass.
No, that's ghetto techno. What's the name? Ghetto techno.
Wait. What album was that on?
That was a like a Blueprint 3 leak.
Oh. Yeah, I never heard that one.
It was like produced by Timbaland. It's like the worst song I ever heard. I actually think it might be a guest. What I say? A guest. See, all these features and guests got me mixed. Yeah. Got me mixed up. It might be a bonus track on there. We got somebody for Sunshine.
See, my thing with Sunshine is the video for Sunshine. The song ain't bad.
The video is just
that video was just ass. Like that fishbowl shit that they was doing.
Yeah,
Jay too ugly the camera,
you can't be doing that, bro. But the song Sunshine itself, independent of that, it's not bad. And I know some people don't like The City's Mine. I love that record. That's young Chad Hugo on the sax, right there. But nah, I fucks with The City's Mine. Yeah, nah, that album if. That album actually caused him not to work with Diddy again until American Gangster because he was so fucking upset at the reception. Because I mean, think about it. Biggie had just died. Jay was supposed to be that nigga. He was supposed to be next up. And Diddy's like, Sunshine, I know what girls like. We got you. You about to be that nigga.
I mean, he did it to himself though.
No, he did. He should have vetoed that shit, but. He wanted to be Shiny Suit Man.
Nah, bro. Like, where was Dame at for that? Like,
that's why Dame started smacking niggas on Jay's behalf after that.
Yeah.
It was like, nigga, you clearly can't be trusted to make your own decisions. So I can't allow this no further. But yeah, nah, I think I've long said of Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt is the only album where top to bottom we've heard him like go as hard as he can.
Oh yeah.
He's jogged to me on every album since then. It's like Usain Bolt. You know he can run faster. You know Usain Bolt could have did some insane shit on the 100, but he like, nah, I'll just go just enough to break the world record.
And to me, that's why I rank American Gangster so high, because to me, American Gangster is Reasonable Doubt too. And to me, that is the album where he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go back in as hard as I used to. Because on No Hook, he was giving us bars. He was giving us bars. And like you say, he's jogged for most of his career, but that's the Jay-Z I like. So that's why I like American Gangster so much.
The thing that brings American Gangster down for me is that fucking Hello Brooklyn.
Yeah, that's
I know.
Which I don't understand why he took that from Wayne. He should have let Wayne keep that. This is not necessary.
Like, nah, you didn't I take that track off, and again, that's like Blueprint 2.1 of like it jumps up in my disc because it don't fit the motherfucker. And
it don't fit the movie either because ain't they? I mean, they in New York, but they mostly dealing in Harlem. So what does Hello Brooklyn got to do with Harlem? Like,
not only that, but that nigga lied to us. If I have a daughter, guess what I'm gonna call her? Brooklyn Carter. Nigga done had two.
Hey, them hip hop lies, bro.
Hip hop lies.
That might be the biggest. That might be the second biggest hip hop lie behind. They call me Big Ellie.
Like, bro, nobody calls you Big Ellie. Nobody.
Because that nigga that had two daughters, and we got Rumi and Blue Ivy. Ain't a Brooklyn in sight. Not even for a middle name. Like, come on, Hov. You better than that. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, No Hook is Reasonable Doubt level rapping, and so is Smile and what's Marcy Me on 444. Because he was definitely restoring the feeling on 444 or trying to.
Oh yeah.
And I hate when New York niggas say restore the feeling, but I had to say it. Because every time a New York nigga says they finna restore the feeling, they do not restore the feeling.
They do not restore the feeling.
The feeling is still not restored.
Narrator, he did not
still
restore
wherever,
the feeling.
it's still wherever it was. The New York nigga get on the track like, yeah, I'm finna restore the feeling. The feeling has never been more far away.
Niggas will be like, we about to take it back, and they never take it back.
They never take I think we got one with this one. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You got to get on the track and say, I think we got one with this one. You do not have one. You have less than one. You have nothing.
No, for this is why if I'm listening to like a rapper doing promo for his album, he was like, man, I left the studio and this one felt like a classic. I will hate the album going into it.
J. Cole said that bullshit.
As soon as you say that, I'm like,
J. Cole said that bullshit ahead of what's that last one he dropped with Kevin Hart and that bullshit.
Oh, KOD. Was that movie?
Yeah, KOD. He was like, yeah. I know we made a classic. I was like, nigga, this shit finna be ass.
See, the only way I would believe him is if he was leaving the studio with like Rick Ross or Big Crit or DJ Khaled, like somebody who got another set of ears that's gonna help him fine tune his shit. But
nah.
And that's the thing, like when you rap, everything that you like, when you first lay something down, man, you be thinking that shit sound good. You be, oh yeah, and then I killed this shit right here. They gonna love this. and then you come back and revisit it, you be like, damn, nigga, why did I record this?
Hearing all the flaws, like, oh,
yeah, like, nah, this shit was kind of ass. Why did I write that?
Like, I'm off beat on this bar. Damn, I need to record this shit. That's how it really be. Like, that's why you need a nigga in there to be like,
nah,
like, hey, fam, fucking up.
Like that's not it. That's not what we here for.
That's why these rappers got to start dropping these microwave albums. Like you're in the studio for 1 month and you dropping an album. Like, no,
everybody can't do what Tupac and Jay-Z did.
No.
Lil Wayne saying I stopped writing was the worst thing that happened to hip hop.
Because you had like people like Lil Flip saying I don't write. Like, okay, you should.
Like, yeah, sure. I do.
Wait, actually, your boy started that trend, Jay-Z.
That's what I'm saying.
He started saying.
That's what I'm saying. Lil Wayne copied Jay. Because Jay actually told you what he was doing. He's like, I write it in my head. Wayne just was like, yo, I'm not writing. The nigga was like, oh, I ain't gonna write neither. And it was like, no, nigga, you not talented enough to do that.
Yeah, Wayne just sit there and punch in the whole time.
Like, go write, nigga. Stop doing. Go pick up a fucking pen, nigga. It's not
like
cool.
that. Like MTV2 did like a documentary of him making like the Carter 2. No, was it? No, excuse me, Carter 3. And he had like he was like in a hotel in France and he had a studio set up in the closet. And he would just like, of course he didn't write because he would just sit down and just punch in a line and he'd think up another line, punch it in, think of another line, punch it in. That doesn't count.
Like, nigga, I don't ever want to hear you punch in on a record. Your engineer is not good enough to hide that from me. I don't want to hear you punch in on the fucking record, my dude. Cause like, and Fee can tell you, like, when we was younger, we tried our best to not be heard punching in if we was gonna punch in. We was like, hey man, like Shaolin Fee.
What's up, Mike? Nah, like we would literally rearrange our bars to not punch in. Like, hey man, you got too many words right here.
And change
some different shit.
Or like the trick that I learned to punch in was like if you was gonna do it, you would say like the 2 bars before it so you could catch your vocal pitch and your cadence. So if you had to punch in, it was coming right in and it was natural. You wasn't just starting right there at the bar. So you would come in like and say those first 2 bars with it. So wherever you needed to chop to make it sound natural, you would chop and the shit will work. But motherfuckers don't be doing that.
They don't do that.
And yes, I was Diddy in the studio.
Nah, do it again.
I was constantly telling niggas, hey,
again.
Move that way.
Hey, you need to record that.
Do it again.
Hey, look, I was the master of hey, nigga, you need to rap it this way. Give me that. Like what DOC used to do for Snoop, I've done that a couple times when they're like, hey, give me that. Move this here. We gonna move this here. Say this way. Rap it like this. All right, bong, you good. But yeah,
that's what you need.
Everybody can't do what Jay-Z did, man. Like, don't. It's okay. It's okay to write. It's okay to pick up a pen and write. I never wrote rhymes.
No,
but I can do that. Everybody can't. Don't do that. Pick up a pen.
Please pick up a pen.
Reading is fundamental.
Your pen game trash anyway. So just pick up a pen and take the time.
Like there is zero honor in saying I didn't write this if the shit is ass.
Right, exactly.
Because then it's just like, nigga, we can tell. Like
the rapper who says, I treat you like milk, I do nothing but spoil you.
Right. I hope you didn't write that down, nigga. That means you had to read. That means you wrote it. You thought of it, wrote it down, and read the shit into a mic at least once and said, you know what? Keep it. Like, nigga, I hope you didn't write that bullshit. Like, nigga, that shit was fucking ass. Like, no, don't do that, bro. Like, no. It's okay to write. That shit is okay, man. You no. Please stop doing that, people. Well, never mind. I don't think these new niggas today even care.
Nah, they don't.
So it really don't matter. But yeah, niggas start.
Niggas don't know how to construct verses. They just be saying lines until
motherfuckers be dropping 1 minute and 40-second songs. Nigga, this ain't even a fucking song. Like, this ain't even a hook. This a half a verse that you didn't want to, that couldn't be made into a verse. So you bookended that on your actual verse. Nigga, I can't even tell where the fucking verse starts and the hook starts. Ain't no dynamic contrast in the production. Shit, one big giant 4-bar loop the entire way through. All you did was put some auto-tune on an 8-bar rap verse and said that was the hook. I don't.
And speaking, that's why I hate, like, to circle back around to my tangent about why I hate Gunna, aside from being the worst dresser ever. He's that's what he does. He will rap, like, he will take a bar and the bar immediately after it, like, he will like wrap himself into a corner and then he's like, okay, well, I gotta stay in this pocket. But then the verse goes nowhere and then he just stops rapping and drops a hook. Like, it makes no sense.
You know what song, like, I feel like started that trend low-key is Over by Drake.
I can see that.
Because when the first time I heard that track, I was like, where's the fucking hook? Like, this sounds like the intro. The hook sounds like the intro to a verse. Yeah. You would have did on So Far Gone, but you couldn't finish it. And you was like, fuck it, this the hook.
I can see that.
Like, I feel like that's when niggas was like, oh, fuck it, we don't need a hook. We can just take 8 bars that wasn't good enough to be a verse and make that the hook and repeat it and put some auto-tune.
He also godfathered the where you say a bar then just say a word that associates with the previous bar. Like he also godfather that. Like you know that shit they used to do like that nigga said I got your bitch grocery bag or whatever.
Oh
like
yeah, there's actually a whole video I made on our dude Joe's old YouTube.
That's the super duper flow.
Yeah,
yeah.
Drake stole that from Big Sean, but he's not getting that credit, bro.
Like
we're not giving that to him.
I mean, that line almost single-handedly ended Luda's rap career. I mean that style.
Yeah.
I fill her up. Balloons. No. No.
And when it's done right, it's good, bro. Like, but it's seldomly like I feel like Big Sean does it right. Like, cause
I ain't gonna lie, he was going in on Super Duper Lemonade, man.
I mean, line after line after line, barcode. That's a dope way to do that.
Make sure all my niggas they're good. Marshall, like that's all right, but I mean he's better at it than what these other niggas was doing. Like them other niggas was like, nah, fam. Like
everywhere I go, I ball. Chemo.
Yeah, like nah, bro. Like that ain't it for you.
No.
I'm a star. Sheriff badge.
Or I'm a star. No Spangled Banner. No.
It ain't it, Chief.
Don't do that.
That's not it. That's not what we need from you. That's not.
We don't need that, man. We don't need that.
We don't need that.
But yeah, 24th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt. What's your favorite track off of Reasonable Doubt?
Feeling it.
Ooh.
Mine's Dead Presidents.
So mine like jumps day by day, but like some days is regrets, some days is Dead Presidents, but what's always been like a constant for me, and I actually dropped this take on the timeline, and Lee was about to come get at me because of this, but I was like the one constant that like never like ebbs and flows with me is The Evils, because I feel like the second verse of The Evils is probably one of the best verses I've ever heard. Like just the way he constructs that verse. Like we used to fight for building blocks. Now we fight for blocks for buildings to make a killing. Like just everything he goes through in that verse while tying it into the overarching theme of the song. Like
you dollars till a shit started to make sense.
You wish your favorite rapper was that good. Like
nigga, I wish I was that good. Let alone nigga, I wish I could do that.
Right.
Like, nigga, what you like? Yeah, nah. I The Evils, like the first 8 tracks on, because I'm not a huge fan of Ain't No Nigga. Joe, we said favorite track off of Reasonable Doubt.
This
favorite song off of Reasonable Doubt.
Hey, hot take while we got it here though. Rakim watched Hove on Watch It Too. Rakim watched Hove.
I don't know about that one.
And I'm not even one of those like super hip hop dudes like, oh man, Rakim the greatest rapper of all time.
I don't know about that one.
Rakim watched Hove, man.
All I know is Hove watched Ja Rule on Delicate without saying his name on that on that record. Now you're too big for your britches. You got a few little bitches. You think you Hugh Hef, but you just ridiculous. I blew breath of you midgets. I gave life to the game. It's only right. I got the right to be king. Nigga Hoes right now. I can't get Rakim and watch it on that one. Niggas that got really like what I saying because they know what it's like. Niggas feel my pain. Know the shit I don't write be the illest shit that's ever been recited to the game. Work to the hyphen in my name. Yeah, nah. Hove got off on that one.
J-A-Y.
Dash, Hopper, the future, proper. The holy trinity in hip hop is us. We give Dre his props, but that's where nah.
Okay.
Nah, I gotta give Hove that one. He got off on that one. I was on the Peter Pan bus. You was putting Peter Pan up in your room. Y'all fucking room. Allow me to retort. You cowards is just now learning the shit that we taught. Nah, that nigga Hove was getting off on that one, man.
I mean, I wasn't saying he wasn't getting off because I actually really do like to watch it too. But Rakim's verse is like really good.
Yeah, nah. I definitely feel you. Like, but to me, I'm not a big fan.
Yes.
The one thing you'll learn, Joe is probably off some Crown Black right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Joe's probably off some Crown Black, right? But Joe's catchphrase growing up was, "I give props to the weakest niggas." And his favorite Dragon Ball Z character is Krillin. That's not a joke.
Oh man,
that's not a joke.
Look,
said let him know. But I'm not a huge fan of Ain't No Nigga, even though I know that's the song that like quote unquote broke Jay. But like for me, like that first 8 tracks on Reasonable Doubt might be like his best.
Immaculate run.
Yeah, it's not a skip on any of those. Like that shit was incredible. So yeah, I got to roll with that. And actually, this was brought up earlier in the day. I saw this, which amongst some older people brought up some consternation. But someone basically said, all respect to Biggie, but every track that Jay and Biggie have been on together, Jay washed Biggie, and I'm like, yeah, I agree. Like I don't think it's close.
Man.
How many tracks do they got together? Which one are you thinking of, Ron?
No. Hov, I feel like Hov got him on I Love the Dough, but Biggie got him on Unreasonable Doubt.
Brooklyn's Finest to me is tougher because it's hard when you're doing the back and forth.
Yeah, it's hard when you're doing the back and forth, like because Biggie would come in and drop like a really clever line, but Hov is still solid. But to me, like that's a tough one.
Man, listen, Brooklyn's Finest is close enough to me that what Hov did on I Love the Dough just makes it like nah, because Hov watched Biggie on Delicate on I Love the Dough, like that shit wasn't close. Mm-hmm. Both of them verses was. Mm-hmm. Like that's some like, and we got to talk about Hov's feature bodies too. Like I Love the Dough, Blackout. We was talking about Blackout on the time.
We could talk. Yeah, you know how I feel about Blackout.
What'd you call that? Scully J, Scully Jay-Z.
Scully J, kick in the door J. Yeah.
But yeah, I got to get out with the J. Although I saw they had a song together on Duets, I ain't never listened to that shit because outside of Spit Your Game, Duets was ass.
Yeah, you ain't missing that.
Oh no, I mean I'm not about to. I wouldn't go back if someone told me I was missing something. I don't want to hear a bunch of Dead Biggie verses remixed with a bunch of modern producers and modern rappers that are for 2005 modern rappers. I'm good on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I Love the Dough wasn't close. I give Hov the edge on Brooklyn's Finest, but Biggie is a good like 4-bar rapper. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to what we said. Biggie says raps better than Jay-Z does because Jay-Z couldn't have got away with the more I smoke, the smaller the Philly gets.
Nah.
But that's like up there with I'm hungry because I didn't eat. Nigga, what does hungry mean? Like what? Please. Enlighten me to what hungry means. Nigga, if you smoke, what's gonna happen to the Philly, Biggie?
But he makes it sound fire though.
But like you the one who pointed this out to me because I was back home once and I was playing Only You and like that bar, you was like, nigga, what? That's the most simple bar to play, but it makes sense. Like Jay could not have said the more I smoke, the smaller the Philly gets. We'd have been like, really, Jay? Duh. But Biggie could say some shit like that and get away with it. Like, but Biggie's not doing the second verse of the Eagles.
No, he's not.
Or Smile or Blackout for that matter.
Yeah, and I know that Biggie's career was like, all right. So I view Biggie as like Sterling Sharp, like because niggas always talking about like, oh man, if he would have played his entire career, like just imagine what he would have been. But to me, Jay-Z was always gonna be the one.
I don't know if he would have got the space to be the one in New York.
He wouldn't have got the space, but I mean, like just skills. Like,
Jay-Z yeah. I think if Biggie stays alive, Jay-Z is more. He goes. I'm trying to think of a good comp for him because I kind of want to say
like,
Lupe,
man,
but not Lupe. Go ahead.
It took Jay a while to get his just due because, like, if you think about it, from when Biggie died. He really wasn't number one in New York until DMX started fucking up. Because when DMX came out, X was running shit pretty much until Jay-Z started beefing with Nas. Then he kind of from there, and then DMX, like their careers just went opposite ways. And then from there, Jay kind of took over. So I think in hindsight we could say just because we appreciate his music more, but like Ja Rule. You could argue that he might have been running New York for a while. DMX was running New York. Like 50 Cent was running New York. Like it took Jay a while to be like the undisputed like king of New York.
And this is a take I agree with. Like if Biggie would have stayed alive, like his comparison would be where Rick Ross is right now. Oh, I don't know if you mean that about Jay, but that's how I feel about Biggie. Like I feel like if Biggie was still alive, he would trend towards what Rick Ross is doing right now.
I think Jay's career more closely aligns with Kobe than anything. Like I know we all have him as like the GOAT, but you can argue that there was never a point where Jay-Z was the best or biggest rapper alive. Like I know when we hear best, we think of like skill wise, but like there might have been a point like Jay might have always been like 1B or number 2 for like his entire run. Like there was never really a point where he was just like undisputed because DMX, Eminem, Eminem sales wise was always going to be there, but Eminem's like caliber, Biggie, like there was always another like Bomani Jones was saying Kobe was on the wrong side of too many niggas' favorites. Like he was on the wrong side of Jordan, he was on the wrong side of LeBron, he was on the wrong side of all these different niggas. So that's why Kobe fans are so defensive about him. And I think with Jay, you can look and say like there's a point where you really name a year where Jay was just like the undisputed that nigga in hip hop where no one else had a chance with anything, and I don't know if you can. And I say that feeling like Jay-Z is the greatest rapper ever.
Yeah.
Well, I just think he checks more boxes. Like if you had to do like 10 categories of to make a GOAT, like obviously he's gonna get longevity, probably classic albums, success, like lyricism. Like I mean, but then you could start nitpicking like when you look at when were you like when you look at NBA players, I look at when were you the best? Like did you dominate the era? Like MJ. Like we call Jay MJ, or like we compare Jordan or Jay-Z to Michael Jordan. Excuse me.
He kind of told us to do that.
Yeah.
Jordan, okay, but Jordan kept niggas from getting rings. Jay-Z didn't really keep nobody from getting rings. Like niggas kept themselves from getting rings. Like Ja Rule was on top, DMX was on top, Eminem was on top, Biggie was on top. You could argue Mace was on top when he was out. Like Jay-Z wasn't really stopping nobody from eating in New York. Like niggas was stopping themselves. Yes, sir.
That's true. That is true. And that's why I think like I don't know if there's a quote unquote hip hop Jordan for real. Like I don't know if that thing exists. Like I feel like the Kobe comp with him is so real because he was on the other side. It's just that he did it consistently. He was better at being 1B than anybody ever at anything, maybe. And so because there were so many different 1As or just solid ones to his 2s, you almost have to give him like GOAT by because no one did it as long. Like Drake maybe would have had a chance if the ghostwriting and the pop shit never came out.
If he wasn't out here dancing.
Nigga was high and saw a moonwalk video and said I'm gonna make a song about this. That's still the most that's the most lazy shit.
That's lazy.
I'm so glad that song didn't blow up. Like, please don't reward this.
Like I said this in the group. Like if there's one good takeaway from the coronavirus pandemic is that Toosie Slide never got a chance to blow up. Like because I don't know because niggas will be hyping that right now. Like oh man, y'all you wish your favorite rapper could make a track like this.
Like nigga, I heard that shit and I was like, this nigga's describing the moonwalk.
Right.
Like if you want a moonwalk, you put your left foot up and slide the right one back. And then you do the opposite. Don't you want to dance with me? I can dance like Michael Jackson. No, nigga, no. But yeah, I think Jay gets GOAT just because there's never been. I don't think there is a hip hop MJ because it's like far too competitive. I don't think there's a like maybe you could call like Rakim the hip hop like Bill Russell.
Yeah, that's
or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who has like the accolades. It's just that his era wasn't as competitive. But I don't know that there's really a hip hop Michael Jordan.
It's too subjective.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, numbers wise, it would be M, but he has that advantage.
But I do think where the reason why Jay gets it because more people skewing his favor to him being a GOAT. Like it's more like not too many people are going to look at you crazy or argue with you and be like, "Hey, that nigga Jay the GOAT." Like it's not going to be. You're not going to catch too much slack for it. Like anybody else, it's going to be some fucking discussions about that, angry discussions.
Yeah,
because we get to a point where, like, because I know some people will listen to this or watching this, and they might think it's crazy that you're mentioning Eminem, but I think we're now getting to a point where people are starting to forget how big Eminem was once upon a time.
There are 8 diamond albums in hip hop history, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 of them are double albums.
Mm-hmm.
Stankonia, Tupac's Greatest Hits, All Eyes on Me. I'm thinking there's another one.
Speaker Box Love Below.
I don't know about this one now.
Wait, what did I say? Speaker Box Love Below? Okay, yeah. So 4 of we'll get to that in a second. 4 of the 8 are diamond. 4 of the 8 are double albums, which means they sold 5 million records, but they got counted double because it was a double album. The only other one, of the other 4, Eminem has 2. The other one being, I think it's Beastie Boys and Nelly. No, actually, there's 9. Beastie Boys, Nelly, and MC Hammer.
Yeah, only ones moving units is M, Pimp Juice, and us.
Like, that's it. Those are 9 diamond albums in hip hop history, and you might be able to throw Beastie Boys out of quote unquote hip hop. Mm-hmm. But with rap as the primary form of expression, there are 9 albums that have gone diamond. 4 of them were double albums. Of the other 5, M has 2 of them.
Okay,
like,
which is insane. Like, just
and to that, people don't remember how big DMX is. I think it's something insane. Like, DMX is the first artist that
he went number 1 twice in the same year.
Yeah, but he's the first artist of any genre to have his album go number 1 6 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Like, M was big. All right, now we can get the smooth side. Our boy Tony Smooth Side's point. Kanye got more classics than
I got bars for this one. Because
who wrote those Kanye albums?
No, not even that. Not even that.
Because 2 of those are Consequence and Rhyme Fest.
Let's name his classics. Because
College Dropout. That, to me, that's the consensus one. I might be willing to give you Late Registration in My Big Dark Twisted Fantasy. I think My Big Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I think he has 2. College Dropout, Late Registration. I will say, from like a cultural standpoint, like Dark Fantasy is classic. I mean, because I do think that's a criteria for classic. So
that's
from
the
a cultural
rated album of all time.
Well, see, I think if you go cultural, you'll have to put Graduation in there too, because a lot of people say that's his best album, which I think he has too many. Like, Barry Bonds is trash, Drunken Hot Girls is trash. Like, but people absolutely love.
I don't know why. Yeah, I can't understand why people like that album so much. Because to me, like, his most underrated album is 808s. Like, if you want to get into that,
yes, I agree with you on 808s.
And I still wouldn't say that's a classic.
Yeah, I think impact wise, it is a classic because that album literally spawned the Drake that we know. Like, Drake was a backpack conscious rapper.
Life of Pablo. Life of Pablo.
Joe's favorite Dragon Ball Z character is Krillin. You have to remember. Okay. So some of his takes are going to be skewed.
I like Life of Pablo, but I don't think it's a classic.
It's not a classic at all.
I seen people on Twitter the other day caping for Yeezus. I was like, "Yo, what is going on?"
Yeezus is the white and Middle Eastern hip hop fans' favorite album.
Because Yeezus is what you get when. All right, so just like you said, they're like some teetering like hip hop fans that are white of or other cultures, and they only relate to rap when it sounds like rock. So that's why they love Yeezus. Like, because I always bring this up.
Yeezus is Travis Scott sound without the oomph of it.
Because I always say this too, like, getting into Radiohead, like, to me, like, OK Computer is very clearly the best album. But some people like Kid A, which comes right after OK Computer, because it sounds just so different and you can't really label it. So I think, in the sake of sounding different, like, people like, oh, Yeezus is trash, man. Yeezus is terrible. He made that album in 1 week.
That album is
ass. It has like 2 tracks, Blood on the Leaves, and that's only fire because it got the that C Murder song on there that fucked them other niggas. It has that sample on there. And it's like
the only good song on the album to me is actually I Am a God. Like, I actually really like that song. Everything else, and I mean everything else on the album, is trash to me.
But like my thing with Kanye is when you get past Graduation,
Yes.
Every album since that is a Kanye'd up version of another artist sound. 808s and Heartbreak is Kid Cudi. My Dark Twisted Fantasy is Pusha T and fucking Sci-Hi. As far as bars go, not the production, but the bars. You get to The Life of Pablo, that's Chance. Yeezus is Travis Scott. Like everything that everyone accuses Drake of doing, Kanye
yeah.
And that's who Drake got it from. Drake and 40 got their whole because all so far gone is the quote unquote perfected version of 808s and Heartbreak. That's all it is. It is literally 808s and Heartbreak, but taken up a notch with less auto-tune. That's it. And Drake chased that sound, and now every Drake album, whatever new artist is on his label, you know what that album is finna sound like. Party Next Door ain't put out a decent song in years because Drake takes that nigga's hard drive. Whenever that nigga been somewhere writing music, Drake like, oh, I need that.
No, the Weeknd.
But Jordan the same way. The Weeknd.
Yeah, the Weeknd said, like, I started working with Drake. You know, I was a young dude in Toronto. I had 8 tracks. I just gave him the 8 tracks, and that became Take Care.
Take Care,
8 tracks. And you, if you listen closely, you know exactly what 8 tracks those are.
The Ride, Crew Love,
Practice. He gave him Practice, even though they changed the beat. But I heard what do they call him? What he got in trouble for before with Quentin Miller?
Reference track.
Reference tracks. I heard a reference track for Practice on YouTube last week, where the Weeknd was singing the lyrics, but they just changed it to sound like the Juvenile "Back That Ass Up" song.
Yeah, and Joe's point will probably be on the screen here. Now, I'm not saying that Ye is wrong for that. There is a thing with like that Kanye can take a song that you did and put his whatever on it and turn it into something different. That's not in dispute. What I am saying is all that niggas' albums have come off the backs of other people. Like when niggas talk about, oh, I miss the old Kanye. There is no old Kanye. Yeah. The Kanye you are seeing now is the Kanye that has always been. We just thought that nigga was conscious.
Just a different cast because he was around Ron Fest and Twilight.
And Consequence and most niggas. Because they was right now. Because Kanye West wanted to be the nigga that he is now. But he went on tour with Talib Kweli, was the only rapper who would take him on tour. This nigga was at a strip club and tried to open for Joe Budden, and Joe Budden said no. In 2000 or like 2002, Joe just told the story on his podcast. Like no one was fucking with Kanye. He goes on tour with Talib, who is the only rapper who really fucked with him. He's got Rhyme Fest and Consequence writing his rhymes for him. So he embraced the crowd that embraced him. As soon as there was a chance to get away from that shit, that nigga got away from that shit. It's simple. That nigga's always wanted acceptance from the in crowd. And as soon as the in crowd embraced him, that nigga got the fuck up out the paint. Like and I'm not knocking him for that. Kanye does something to a song that makes it a little more palatable, the same way Dr. Dre does. Kanye
does.
Exactly. He's in that same vein of Diddy, Dre, Ye, 40 and Drake. Like all of that is the same line. I'm not knocking them niggas for it, but when you start talking about like critically breaking down art, you gotta. No one thinks P. Diddy is a great rapper because he made No Way Out.
Nah.
No one thinks he's a great producer because he was in the studio orchestrating and arranging Juicy. Like what beat has P. Diddy made by himself that was just fire? It don't exist. He stood on the backs of Stevie J and the Hitmakers, Sean C and LV. He stood on the backs of them niggas to make all that dope shit. But there's something to be said about the fact that when groups leave Diddy, they ass. 112 wanted to get away from Bad Boy so bad, went to Def Jam, and that 4th album was Cheeks.
I even know they had a 4th album.
That Pleasure and Pain. They wanted more. Okay. They wanted more. I think the story is they felt like because Duran like produced a lot of that shit or made the demos and the reference tracks for a lot of that shit, and then Diddy had the hitmen and whatever his in-house producers come in. They felt like because they had him, they didn't need Diddy, and then they leave Diddy and that shit was ass. Like artists leave Diddy and become ass. That's the thing. Like there's something about what Diddy does that's valuable, but I'm not about to rank Diddy in the greatest.
Hey man, I gotta take to get off, man. I don't know. I think I said this to you before, AJ. Like outside of recording, Sean's Godfather Buried Alive is a dope album, man.
I think Joe likes that album. Ain't that the one where he was dissing 50 Cent over the phone?
Yeah, he was on.
Oh yeah, hey, that's a good album.
See, look, Joe talking about some salt.
Yeah,
because I think you got the Jimmy Choo's on there, bro.
Yeah, Jimmy Choo. Yeah. Godfather Buried Alive. It only has like 1 or 2 skips, which is impressive from a nigga that's in jail. Yeah,
bro, that more less. Woo, man. Yeah, nah, that's
that more or less beat. Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good album right there. Oh, I gotta add that to my library. I forgot all about it.
I'm gonna go back and revisit that. Speaking of albums, our new co-host Fee brought us an album to listen to. Which he texted me and said I got a contender for album of the year, which is normally lofty talk, but in a year where there haven't been many good albums.
I mean, hey.
Who introduced the album, man? You the one that brought us.
It's Paternity Leave by Starlito. Starlito, probably one of my top 5 artists that I listen to, and he hadn't dropped nothing since 2018. And I seen he had a child on Instagram, and so on Father's Day he put out this album, Paternity Leave, and right on the intro, Paternity Leave intro, he starts talking about everything that's going on in America with the COVID. Officer Siobhan kneeling on George Floyd's neck, R.I.P. And then from there, he just, for me, I have a I can relate to the album because when I used to be into all kind of foolishness, and then when I had my daughter, a switch flipped and it changed the way I looked at life. And so on this album, he's reflecting about how he had his daughter and how his whole
Dawn's album last year was fire. That album was fire. Like, if you have not heard Dawn Richards' album that dropped January of last year, go listen to that shit. That shit was fire.
And I got a story for that, but I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, finish up.
Oh, but it's basically just him. He's just rapping from a perspective of just now having a kid and how now he sees the world and how he once saw things in a way, but he doesn't. Like, he rapped about trapping, smoking weed, sipping lean, things that I'm sure he was into, but now he's like, hey, I got a gun on me, but it's because I want to make it home safely to my daughter. Like, it's not because I'm going to be into some foolishness. 10 tracks, 30 minutes, not a long listen. The standout tracks to me are the intro, where he says, how we supposed to want peace when we the ones that they killing. Kaepernick wasn't nothing like Officer Siobhan kneeling. Another quote, ran up $1 million and I'm still considered a nigga. Them a couple quotes off the intro. My favorite song on there is Girl Dad. 3 features it has Jelly Roll and Don Tripp. I just think especially if you have kids, it's a great album to listen to. It's more of a mature album, and I was actually proud to see this type of album from Starlito because he's normally rapping about, shit I like to listen to, but it's nothing I'm into, like selling weed and how much weed you can get for a pound, how much lean you can sip. Like, it's a real mature album, and I was proud to see that maturity from him.
I will say I like Girl Dad, but I think it was Jelly Roll. I don't know if I don't like that nigga delivery or whatever, but I was like,
I don't like Jelly Roll, man.
He could have been left off that track.
I like his verse was okay though. I like Don Tripp's verse the best.
Yeah, I fuck with Don Tripp's verse. Like, I liked the outro, the Daddy Issues, because I that didn't go the way I thought that it was gonna go. So I do like the spin on Daddy Issues, talking about his own. And then Baby Mama Trauma was cool.
Yeah.
And then I think
I like Hard on Defrost.
Hard on Defrost. Yeah, I like that. Like, the thing I will say about him is I don't know how old he is, because I know you listen to him, but I typically don't.
I think he's 34, 35.
Okay. Because because I listen to a lot of vulnerable rappers, it takes a lot for me to be impressed with your vulnerability, but I can tell he's heading in a direction of being a little bit more vulnerable. I want to see when he gets to like not the surface level vulnerability. I want to see when he starts getting into like some real like real vulnerable. I can tell he's scratching the surface. It's probably hard for him where he came from to like really break through that tough man glass that he probably has around himself. But I'll be interested to see if he can keep digging in that layer. But I like it. It's a good album. It's a good listen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out because I really like Lito, man. Super underrated rapper. Also known as All Star, if you remember. The features on Yo Goddess Cash Money album, but shout out to Lito, man.
This is why we brought Fee on, because Ronnie would never have suggested a Starlito album to me. he knows a little bit better. I would have been like, no.
Yeah, you outnumbered now, man.
I mean, I have to. We subjected him to listen to some albums that he probably would have never listened to, like on the Album of the Year show in 2018. I don't know if he'd have been listening to Saba and a few of them other niggas. So we made him listen to a few albums, so I can listen to 30 minutes of a rapper that I wouldn't normally listen to if it's being suggested.
But I also know what to bring to you, so I'm not gonna bring you nothing. Hey, you can check this shit out. Like, nah, I know. I know.
I mean, it's a good mix. It's kind of not like in the same way, but it's kind of the same way. You have like three different man. Steve, get the fuck out of here, nigga. Get your ass up out of here, nigga. Nigga, we about to ban you from the chat room with takes like that.
No, man. No.
Ain't nobody compare. If anyone is Karl Malone, it's the other nigga that was on Best of Both Worlds.
Yes.
That nasty motherfucker. That nigga was Karl Malone. Put up
Google Demetrius Bell. Yeah.
Put up a bunch of stats being a nasty nigga. Fuck out of here. Fuck wrong with this nigga. And then another anniversary that passed. I did this on my podcast on Thursday. Songs About Jane.
Classic.
Yeah, man. That to me is like, I talk about a little bit on the 4 Hour Show, but that is one of my 5 albums that if you told me I couldn't listen to only 5 albums for the rest of my life, that's like one of the first 2 picks. I love that album. My favorite song on there is
might be.
What's up?
But I'm about to kick Steve out the chat room if we can. Can we kick him out the chat room?
How do we block music?
Yeah, bro, you know he's trolling.
I don't like these extra lights.
And this is the comment for everybody watching. Drake is not running anything.
Ain't nobody who's been peed on been running things. That's it's not how this works.
You know how wild it is that was like just a widely known thing in the industry.
Yeah,
like everybody knew that Drake got peed on.
Yeah, that nigga got peed on, man.
Yeah. What dude from Toronto? Yeah, he got peed on.
You know, the nigga that got pissed on. Like, nah, that's no. Damn sure not peed on by a nigga.
Nah, man. Nah.
Like, there's a segment of the world like our guy Rod for Short, who might give you some props if you got peed on by a woman. But
yeah,
a nigga peeing on you during the movie, like nah, fam. I don't even know you like that. But anyway, back to Songs About Jane. Songs About Jane, one of my favorite albums. It is my theory, long posited theory is it is sequenced as a toxic breakup in album form.
I can buy that.
Taking you from the fake breakup to when you want to get back together to when y'all back together and you feel like the world is against you, so you decide you got to get out of where you from, and then you realize that like that bitch ain't ever gonna change, and y'all break up for real. So, or nigga, you can phrase that either way. But I think my favorite thing about that album, and I realized this on my listen through when I was preparing for it, is one of the songs is Tangled is actually written from the perspective of Jane on that album. If you go back and listen to Tangled, he writes a song from her perspective about like all the fucked up shit that she's done to him. And I thought, you know what? That's some. I didn't catch that the first million times I listened to it.
See, you're gonna make me run it back now, man.
I'm telling you, man. It's the most recent episode on my podcast called Beauty Queen of Only 18. It's the 18th anniversary of Songs About Jane. He said "Secret" is the best song on Songs About Jane. I like "Secret." "Secret" is just basically a song about sex, though. While it's a song about car sex while it's raining. If you just go look at the lyrics, and that's not a bad thing. I think we've all in our younger days had car sex while it's raining.
No comment.
I mean, hold on. What is the lyric? Cool these engines, calm these jets. I ask you how hot can it get, and as you wipe off beads of sweat, slowly you say, "I'm not there yet."
Yeah. I think the color is.
I mean,
Sunday Morning is about sex.
Yeah, that's why Sunday Morning is fire, man.
Like it is, and in the sequencing of the album, Must Get Out, they're talking about running away with each other after they've gotten back together. And Sunday Morning is the morning after. It's the morning after sex. Yeah. But they also talk about running away on there. Running away. So yeah, I to me, I don't know that Maroon 5 or Maroon 7 as they're known now because it's 7 of them niggas.
Damn, Maroon 19.
Well, I mean, it's funny because Jesse Carmichael, who was the original band's, well, they were called Karish Flowers, and it was 4 of them. And apparently, them niggas went to New York, was in college, listened to a bunch of Aaliyah, and then decided to write songs about Jane after that. So Aaliyah indirectly inspired songs about Jane.
Oh,
yeah, they were listening to a lot of R&B, hip hop, but they said one of the biggest artists, Adam and Jesse, who I think were best friends growing up, were listening to was Aaliyah. So they decided to move Jesse to keys, and then they added James Valentine. But they had already written songs like "Sweetest Goodbye" and "The Sun" and a few others on there. So, but Jesse Carmichael had to go on a quote unquote spiritual journey, which I would guess means rehab. And that's when they added PJ Morton on the Overexposed album. So that's Payphone, Daylight, but they really haven't had a good album in a while. Like it.
Send songs about Jane.
It won't be soon before long is good if you add in the B-sides. The first half of that album is like really fire. Like when you get to, I think it's Won't Go Home Without You. What's this Kanye joint that they did? That Adam Levine did. Hold on, now I gotta look up this.
Somebody heard him say.
Nah, they heard him say, but they have they made their own version of that. Nothing Lasts Forever.
Oh.
They kind of reinterpolate that chorus. Once you get to that, the album kind of starts falling off. Good Night is cool, but when you get to some of their B-sides, Infatuation, Story, Losing My Mind, Miss You, Love You, those are kind of better than some of the joints that made it. But yeah, they've been steadily falling off since then. It
hasn't been steadily. They fell off right after.
Come on, man! It won't be soon before long. Got some cuts. Run the first half of that album. First half of that album is If I Never See Your Face Again, Makes Me Wonder, A Little of Your Time Is Mid, Wake Up Call, Won't Go Home Without You, Nothing Lasts Forever.
I guess, man. I might listen to it. Ain't nobody ask you, D.
Nothing Lasts Forever is Heat Rock.
Nobody asked you, D.
D is correct, as usual.
Nobody asked you to agree.
All right, we got anything else to discuss on here?
Oh yeah, I said I had a story in the spirit of Diddy, so I want to end with this story. Did I ever tell y'all the origin of Last Train to Paris?
No, I have not heard.
All right, so the blog era, Talib Kweli released the EP, and it was he and 2 singers. He released the EP. The EP got traction, and they were about to do a full album. You know where I'm going with this, right?
Did he jack the idea?
Did he jack the idea? And then the group broke up immediately after. Like immediately after he dropped that EP, did he drop Last Train to Paris?
Last Train to Paris is fire too. I remember listening to that when I was deployed.
No, that's it. Like it is. Like that's one of the better Diddy projects.
Hold on, let me look up the name of this group before we go.
This nigga Diddy is still anything, man. Hey, nah, Biggie was being real when he said, "Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real." Ask Puff Daddy. Don't leave your musical ideas around him. Oh shit! You know how fucking bad I'd be if I drove.
Yeah. Okay. So the name of the group was Idol Worship.
Like
the name of the group was Idol Worship, and right after did a drop Last Train to Paris.
Like Idol Worship or Idol Worship.
Worship.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm blocking you.
What was it called? What did he say?
Oh, she just said nobody wants to hear a Diddy story. Just being nice.
What was the name of that EP? Because I gotta find that shit. I gotta hear this. I have to hear this. That is fucking hilarious. This nigga.
And the EP was actually fire.
Oh, hold on.
Is it the Habits of the Heart?
Yeah, that's the.
Is it? Yeah, is it Habits of the Heart? Well,
yeah, I think
Habits of the Heart came out in what it says is 2000.
No, that wasn't it. It was
They got another song from 2008, a single.
Yeah, it was like a mixtape in 2008 that he released.
Oh, it's probably on that piece. Let me see.
No, but the window.
Yeah, I see they collaborated with Chester. Man, that blog era was wild. You had motherfuckers like Chester French popping off.
Right.
Asher Roth.
Colin Monroe.
What was the dude that got beat up by that girl? Charles Hamilton.
Oh yeah,
hey, everybody hates Charles Hamilton for some reason. I gotta figure out why. Like there used to be this nigga on Twitter who like he legit wanted like challenge Charles Hamilton to battle and put up like $10,000 of his own money or some shit. That nigga hates.
Charles Hamilton is another guy who is on the Detroit no-fly list because he said, and I quote, "Jay Dilla visited me while I was sleeping and gave me this album." And then Trick was like, nah, bro. You ain't talk to Mama D. Nah, bro. So Charles Hamilton cannot, to this day, go to Detroit.
God damn. That nigga, Trick might be. Trick is a legend. I ain't even gonna say might be. Trick is a fucking legend, man. D, it's IDLE. So Idol is in idle hands.
Yeah, that is a double Andre. Yes.
Double on Andre.
Idol worship. Yes, D, double on Andre.
Double on Andre. Don't even ask me how.
Don't even ask me how.
That nigga Jay really said triple entendre. Don't even ask me how, and that shit was not close to being an
entendre. It was not a triple entendre.
Like nigga, that was a homophone. It was not an entendre in any way, shape, or form when you said "ow." Hoes turn their heads like "owls" and the man of the "ow." No,
ow.
You just said one word. You said 3 words in the same way. That wasn't remotely close to being an entendre, nigga. The only bar he has that's close to a triple entendre is pious because God loves pious. Wait, he said what?
What?
It's pious because God loves pious. That's all.
Over there, you said you didn't know shotgun. If you ever,
hey, he stopped that whole battle, bro. Hey, that nigga Arsenal said, "Watch them niggas."
Go watch, and he said that to a blood. That was the funniest part. If you want to see what we're talking about with Trick, go on YouTube and type in Arsenal verse. Who is it? Calico.
Yeah.
Arsenal verse Calico. And so the backstory on this, well, you can tell it because you know more about this than I do. You more in the battle rap than I am.
Okay, Shotgun Suge was battling Calico, and basically he said he was gonna send that nigga with
Proof.
He was disrespecting Proof in the battle, and so they had I don't even know how long it was later, but anyway, they had a battle event in Detroit, and so Shotgun Suge didn't come because obviously he was marked out. Arsenal was battling Calico, and Calico is from Detroit, and Arsenal is rapping. I'm pretty sure it's in his first round, And he's like, some, my nigga Suge got that shotgun, and Trick get up and come out of nowhere like, hey, I thought you said you ain't know that nigga Suge. And bro, that nigga Arsenal back up. Like, Arsenal was a Grape Street Crip. And he like, hey, you gotta
watch them niggas cuz to a blood. That nigga said, watch them niggas cuz to a blood. Like, because apparently that he approached him about that and was like, hey man, your mans was disrespected a legend. He disrespected Proof. And he like, man, I don't even know that nigga like that. But got on stage acting all big and bad. And that nigga Trick walked up to the stage and said, hey, bro, you said you didn't know that nigga. Which leads to one of my favorite battle lines because Calico was like, we had a battle with Detroit. I told Uncle Trick, chill. Ain't nobody gonna get killed, smack. But they apparently they had to smuggle that nigga out the back of the
nigga hot tail.
Some Runyon Ave niggas was apparently waiting on that nigga. And if you listen to enough D12, you know they love to shout Runyon Ave out. Them niggas do not play about Proof. Do not disrespect Proof. Damn. Yeah. That was funny. You been watching any of them caffeine battles, Fee? Are they worth watching?
Caffeine, I just want you to know, caffeine is the trashiest service.
Every time
I try to get on there, and Joe can attest to this. Every time I try to watch a live event, it never works.
I tried watching the first battle on there, and that shit blacked out because they said it was too many people watching. And I'm like, what is the point of this service? If y'all got a limit on how many people can view this shit. Like, this shit is fucking stupid. So I never tried but I didn't know.
I seen like one event on there, and the service was choppy. Like the picture wouldn't match the words. Like it's horrible.
Oh, they was on the Kung Fu movies dubbed tip.
Yeah, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I love to get. I try to get more into battle rap, but I haven't watched it in God knows how long. I mean, Roni has stopped that, but
because if you don't have a URL TV app, then
which I
they don't release the battle till like 8 or 9 months later. But I'm not paying $9 for you to drop a bunch of no-name nigga battles. Like, I'm not trying to see that, bro. I'm trying to see them stars.
I don't want to see them proving ground niggas. Like, if you not giving me motherfucking, I don't even know who the top niggas in battle rap are right now.
I don't either.
The same niggas who've been the top for the longest. The only people who are new that are probably at the top: Geechee Gotti, New Jersey Twerk.
I really don't like Twerk.
I don't like him either, but he's one of the top niggas.
I don't understand like what the appeal is of that nigga, but they love that nigga. Plus, his name is Twerk.
I mean, he brings it a crowd. That's. But I mean, he's one of the top niggas. Everybody else is still the same. Goods, Verb, like they just dropped the Gnome 10 card. Daylight is coming back to battle Tay Rock. Verb versus Geechee Gotti. Mike P versus Saga, which will probably be battle of the night. Lux versus Sue Surf. And
Surf? I'll get that.
Lux versus Sue Surf is the main event, but it's gonna be on Caffeine. It's supposed to be like July 11th. There's one more battle that I'm missing off of there.
Never mind. I'll just get the app and watch that.
John the Don versus Ill Will. Like,
I'm still a John the Don fan. I don't care how many times that nigga been caught biting. I'm still a John the Don fan. I'm a Kit Kat 4-bar setup.
John ass cheeks.
Him and Charlie Clips on one of my favorite battles of all time was watching that nigga just dismantle Mr. Wavy. That shit was hilarious.
John?
Yeah, that shit was fucking hilarious. That shit was impeccable. But
have you seen John versus Jack Boy Maine when he pull out his fake Walmart?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Jack Boy, that real brolic dude, right?
No,
Jack Boy is super tall. He rode with New Jersey Twerk.
New Jersey Twerk.
Yeah. John and Twerk was battling, and then Jack Boy Maine tried to jump in the third round, and John just refused to battle that nigga. So then on the next event, John versus Jack Boy happened, and they had this. Jack Boy Maine has this chain called Black Wealth, and you can get it on Walmart for like $30.
Yeah.
So John eventually end up throwing this nigga chain into the crowd, and the battle just ends after that. Like, watch this man embarrassed.
Like he took it, and then like Tay Rock, the nigga who always wear the big hats, it'd be like, hey yo, yeah, that nigga. He like had the chain. It was just sitting there looking at it. It was like, look at this shit. if you can find that battle, go watch it. That shit
that's exactly who I thought it was. Nah, that's him. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah.
Oh, Jack Boy, yeah. Joe said I like John and Dom, but hate on Joe. If you've heard me rap since like I was rapping as a teen, you know I'ma love the punchline setup niggas like him and Charlie Clips. Even though Clips been ass for like the last 8 years.
Out money, so he don't need to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But after he battled Hollow, it's hard to watch him because Hollow breaks his whole style down in the first round, and it's like after that,
I mean, Hollow did the same to Lux, but niggas still love Lux.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is really on Walmart.
Yes.
Oh, the black. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Walmart,
you can get a 4PF chain on Walmart.
Yeah, and a 21
PF chain.
You can get a 4PF chain for $70 on Walmart.
Yes, son.
Yep. Lil Baby was like, Walmart got me fucked up. He tweeted that shit out.
And they was talking about Kodak Black trying to sue him.
Ooh, trying to sue him?
Yeah, because Kodak Black has trying to sue Walmart because they have a Kodak Black chain on there too. Yeah, there you go. The Black Wealth.
I didn't even know we could do this. Like this show on our website, I didn't even know this was a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right, but yeah, we got anything else? Anybody got anything else they want to?
No, I think that's it, man.
All right. Well, this has been Politics as Usual. I didn't even introduce the shit. Episode 23. Yeah, it is 23, right?
Yeah, it's 23. All
right, Politics as Usual, episode 23. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Please, we're begging you. We don't like posting on Facebook.
Subscribe to the YouTube.
Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Are our names appearing under us? I can't tell with this.
Yeah, I'm about to. Hold on.
I was about to say, did you get the Pro StreamYard?
Yeah, I got the Pro account now.
Oh, all right. I have to put some money in the PayPal. Follow us at
get on your Cash App.
Get on your Cash App.
Donations, gifts.
We need donations. We need gifts. Not Red Lobster gift cards, but we do need donations and gifts. Follow us at the KWC blog. You can follow me at the Roman numeral 4_eyes. You can follow Fee at Fee Fresh PHs where the F sounds are. Ronnie is at the KWC blog. He refused. Somebody actually stole your old Twitter name, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. If only they knew what they got themselves into. Because
it's a lot of manual retweets. They probably be getting tagged in.
Yeah,
like I wanted. If I could remember the tweet off the top of my head, I would say it right now. Ron got a couple classics under his belt. It's probably out there with the band. I actually left my my old Twitter account deactivated for too long. So D says get you some merch. Is 100% correct. Log on to the kidswearcrowns.com. Make sure you check out our merchandise shop. I should have worn. I grabbed the first thing I was working in a wife beater. But
I need to give me some merch.
Yeah, man, get you some KWC merch. We got some stickers. My laptop has a sticker on it. We got hats. Yeah, see, we got drawstring bags. We got merch. We got coffee mugs.
We got the hoodies.
T-shirts.
The hoodies. Yeah.
We got onesies for your baby. Like what other blog?
We got everything.
What other blog is giving you onesies for your baby? We got Super Saiyan merch. Like, come on, guys. You get a pink Super Saiyan t-shirt. Like, who else is giving you these color options for $21.49?
What's
Get on your Cash App. But anyways, make sure you also subscribe to the podcast Politics as Usual. You find my podcast at the 4 Eye Show. We might get Fee a podcast here soon so we can talk about battle rap and ghetto rap.
You said ghetto rap?
You hood rat shit that you find interesting. Scott called you a hood rat, so we'll go with that. That he is interested in. But we will be back here. I'm not sure about the same bat time, but definitely the same bat channel. Do we want to start incorporating rewatching this shit? We're only doing that on last week's episode.
I mean, you know, we just gotta. I mean, we could do a crossover episode. That's what we could do.
All right. I was asking.
Where were you trying to rewatch?
I mean, I still got to do my Clone Wars rewatch ahead of the Mandalorian.
Okay.
We got 7 seasons there. We need that. That's going to take a minute.
Okay.
I got to get WAP one too.
When we gotta do that. When the Mandalorian comes back, we just gonna do politics as usual on last week's episode crossover and just recap the Mandalorian. We'll do that.
Fee, have you gotten to the Clone Wars yet, Fee?
I watched the Mandalorian, but I ain't watched I've only watched like the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars. I'm gonna have to catch up.
Right.
But since I'm off the whole summer, I'll start catching up on that. You know.
Yeah, lucky you, Negro.
Gifts.
All right, but anyways, we will catch y'all next time. Never. But we will catch y'all later. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. We'll be back next week on Friday live. It'll be some combination of the 3 of us, if not all 3 of us. Peace. Dr. Umar is a homeless fiend. Like